On June the 9th, 2021, we had an unprecedented storm event in our area. Our huge mountain ash forest has grown to withstand winds from the north, but this wind came from the other direction, and so it's estimated 25,000 trees fell that night and destroyed nearly 200 homes. They're families that have been displaced and are going through that awful process of trying to rebuild. I did a lot of work in the first few weeks in the relief centre here in Olinda. It was sort of about survival in those first few weeks, and at some point a few months later I was able to go back to that bit of forest. This was the track that I used to walk through every day, and you cannot get in there. You still can't get in there 2 years later. It was really confronting, but it was also oddly beautiful. As artists, we're compelled to document what's going on around us. I needed to just make something in there, so I took my beautiful handmade paper from Japan in there and some oil pastels and charcoal, and I was rubbing the paper along the branches. I walked up to these root balls, which are twice the size of me. I just instinctively started putting my hands in the dirt and mixed it on my palette with water and made paint and applied that to my paper as well. So I found that really therapeutic. So once I'd made those artworks in the forest, I had an idea of some people I'd really like to paint who I'd met. There's one person who encapsulates the whole experience of what our community went through. Kalorama's CFA captain, Bill Robinson, the way the Kalorama fire station brought people together was unbelievably inspiring. I did spend a long time trying to think about how to paint such a big story, because there's a lot in there. It was really clear that there was a layering of ideas that needed to go into this work. So there's the person, there's what the person is responsible for, there's his story as a man and a husband and a father, and the risk he takes every day and night doing what he does with his team. I felt like I needed to add the colours of the fog and the foliage and vegetation. I really love the way he's holding his helmet, and you can just see the edge of the captain word on his helmet, which is really meaningful because he's such a humble man. So this painting I've done of Bill is the first of a series of portraits I'd like to do to tell the stories of the people who have been impacted in our community. The important part of this project is that it's on wood that has been salvaged from this area. So this painting of Bill is on a piece of blackwood that fell in Kalorama. This wood has been milled and kiln dried and prepared for my paintings. When these paintings are finished, I can imagine walking into a room and seeing these portraits standing up like the trees were once standing, these giants of our forests and giants of our community. People who aren't even from this area feel connected to the work. We would really love to be able to share this story with everybody. It's a story that I believe needs to be told.